consumer decision making. This is what I call an important topic. They're all very important topics, obviously. But this one, for one, I teach as a full semester course in the fall for my marketing majors, and if you're not yet a marketing major, come see me or your advisor and we can help you with that. We teach consumer decision making, or what we call consumer behavior, in the larger course. This is very important both for you personally and as a business person, manager, marketer, decision maker. Because as a consumer yourselves, you need to know what you're doing. You might think, I've been buying stuff for a very long time. Of course I know what I'm doing. Well, as marketers, we're trying to do what? We're trying to influence you. We're trying to educate you. We're trying to inform you. We're trying to get your attention. We're trying to convince you to buy things. Spend money. Come see us. Whatever it might be. As a consumer yourselves, if you go into a buying situation more educated, with your eyes open, paying attention, you may be able to understand some of the things being put out at you. Especially, say, in an unscrupulous way. If someone is trying to trick you, if someone is trying to convince you to buy something you don't need, as an educated decision maker yourself, you would be able to make better decisions. As a marketer, as a business person, an entrepreneur, a manager, the future CEOs of major corporations, if I don't understand my customers, if I don't know why they're buying, when they're buying, where they're buying, how they're buying, what they are buying, then it's very hard for me to satisfy them. It's very hard for me to provide the goods, the services, the ideas, the experiences that they need. We can understand how consumers make decisions. We can understand how better to influence those decisions. Marketing and psychology are very close cousins. We've studied psychology a lot longer than we formally studied business, and particularly, say, marketing within that. But a lot of what we learn about why people do the things they do, what influences how we make decisions, like our emotions, that helps us make better business decisions, marketing decisions, pricing, promotions, advertising decisions as well. Consumer behavior. It's split into kind of two things we can think of. We want to understand how consumers make those decisions leading to purchases. Because as a business, of course, my end goal sort of kind of thing is, I want you to purchase my stuff. Whatever it is I'm selling, if you don't actually buy it, I don't actually get paid. I could entertain you all day long with my Super Bowl commercials. I could have a cool display up in my window that catches your attention. I could have free coffee and Wi-Fi in my store that you might be very intrigued by. But if you don't actually end up purchasing something, then I'm out that cost. I've spent money on you as a potential customer without any actual realization back from a business standpoint. So absolutely, I want to know, how do consumers get to that purchase decision? How do I lead them down the path that ends up with me getting paid? But also, not just there. Too many businesses stop there. If I know how to get you to give me the money, then that's all I need to know. If I can get you in my store, on my website, clicking checkout, going through the line and handing me that debit card, then that's all I need. That means I got paid and I can move on with my business day. That's where we disconnect. That's where customer service stops for too many businesses. But consumer behavior as a whole is not just getting you down the path to the purchase, but what do you do after that? How are you actually using my products, goods, service, experience, ideas, whatever it might be? And what are you doing after you've used it? Literal physical products can wear out, they can break, we can use up all the usefulness in them. What are we doing after that? Are we throwing it away? Are we recycling it? Are we using it for some other purpose? Are we able to resell it to another consumer to get some value back out of it? If my car breaks down, what are my options?
Repair
repair it myself? Maybe. That's an option, right?
I mean, but it depends if you know how to work on it.
Absolutely. That goes back to what is our target customer, for instance. Are they a DIY person? Are they a mechanic already? I'm not going to take it to somebody else's shop, right? I'm going to take them out. That's a little bit of it. That's one of the options is fix whatever it is myself. What else?
Have somebody else fix it.
Take it to somebody else to fix it, right? What else?
Buy a new one.
Buy a new one. What do I do with the old one?
Sell it.
Sell it. Sell a broke down car. That's going to be fun.
But they gonna want the parts out there.
Oh. If they already have a broke down version of it themselves, they need your not broken part of your broken one to make theirs not as broken. Absolutely, that happens. What else? Nobody wants my janky old car that broke down.
Scrap it.
Scrap it. Get $200-300 just for the metal in it. You still got to get it somewhere, or get somebody to come pick it up. What's probably about my last option at this point?
Leave it on the side of the road.
Turn it into a flower pot. The point that some cities have had to enact ordinances, you can't leave broke down cars in your front yard. You at least got to like paint it all pretty and put some daisies in it to call it yard art. You just leave it sitting on blocks for, I don't know, 8 or 10 years and then stop finding any value in it. What happens when your pen runs out of ink?
Get a new one.
Probably just going to get another one. What am I going to do with the old one? Sell it on eBay? Throw it away, most likely. Could we recycle it? I don't know. That's sometimes where we get to. It's plastic, so they melt plastic to make other plastic stuff. Maybe. Is the ink in it? Is that toxic? Should that go in landfill? Should that go in recycling? Is it worth it? Leave it on the desk for the next person to think, ooh, look, free pen. They go, oh. How consumers use and dispose of products, how we use them up, how we stop finding value in them. Can I sell my car before it breaks down to somebody else? Sure. It's just not what meets my needs any longer. I'm afraid it's going to break down, so I'm going to let somebody else have to deal with it. Maybe. If we can find value in a product, then another consumer may be willing to give us some of that value back out of it, depending on what it is. Can I, if I decide at 3 a.m. that I don't like this hotel, can I sell it to another consumer that night? That's just weird. Hotel would probably say, no, it's not. If you decide May 15th, you're ready to move out of your apartment, but your lease goes to May 30th, probably. What do you do with it? Eat that half a month's rent? Maybe. What if it goes to August? You gonna try and sublease it? Maybe. Depending on the apartment complex, depending on the landlord, the contract you sign, you may or may not be allowed to do that. You may be able to do it on your own. You put an ad up on, I don't know, the student listserv. Or it may have to go through the company you rented the thing from. They have to go through and background check and get deposits from them themselves. All about how do we use the product and dispose of it, whatever that means. Throwing it away, reselling it, recycling it, finding some other use for it. That's all part of our consumer behavior. If a company only makes decisions and only cares about their customers to this point, they're missing a lot of the rest of the story. They're missing a lot of the chance to wow the customer, to build long-term loyalty with the customer, to build a relationship, because a lot of the things we buy don't just happen once and forever after that we're done with it. This car broke down, I'm probably going to need another car. This pen ran out of ink, I'm probably going to need another pen. If I've done my job correctly, building a relationship, providing a good product at a good price, making it appropriate, meeting your needs, then every time you go down this path, I want you to choose me. And that's going to include helping you out at the end of the story too. Consumer decision-making process. A 5-step process used by consumers when buying goods, services, ideas, experiences. Here's those 5 steps that you can't read because of how they wrote this for you. But it's in the book. And we're actually going through each of these kind of all out the rest of the chapter. The factors that are going to affect us, both personal factors, our personality, our emotions, our budget, the things going around us, the external environment around us as consumers. Am I the only one making the decision? Is someone else influencing my decision? Who's paying for it? They might have a say in what we buy. All those are going to affect every stage of this. But we're going to start with need recognition. Because as a consumer, if I don't have a need for something, it's very unlikely I'm going to actually go buy it. I already own 7 cars. Why not buy another one? It's Monday after all. Unless you had a good movie deal come through, it's probably not what you're doing too often. We don't usually go purposefully shopping to acquire something without first having a need for it. I'm out of pens, and obviously, based on my exam scores, I need to take better notes. So I need to go buy new pens. That's recognizing I have a need for something. Then I'm going to search for it in some form or fashion. I think of that sometimes as shopping, absolutely. But I can search internally and I can search externally. We're going to look at that. I'm going to find alternatives. I might find one alternative, and that's the first one, and I'm going to be like, good enough? And that's where we stop, and that's all we do. Or the decision might be more important. The decision might be more risky. And so I'm going to find a multitude of options and have to weigh the pros and cons and budgets and all sorts of different options about choosing my alternatives. And then I might actually purchase the thing. How am I going to purchase it? Am I going to purchase it in person? Am I going to purchase it online? Am I going to use cash, credit, debit card, check? Any people that still make you use checks? I don't know. Then there's that post-purchase behavior. That idea of we took 4 steps to get the consumer down the path to giving us money as a company. Are we leaving them then? Or are we going to keep going? Because the consumer is going to keep going. After they buy it, the consumer is still going to keep thinking. They're going to keep evaluating the product, what they're getting out of it, how much they paid for it, you as a company and your customer service. And guess what? This is going to go back. And sometime in the future, they're going to have this again. And it's going to cycle over and over and over. You're going to eat lunch every day of your life. That's a lot of circling. You're going to buy probably not a whole lot of houses in your lifetime, but you're going to probably buy more than one. Might be a very long-term cycle, but the cycle repeats itself at some point. Need recognition. It's the first stage in the decision-making process. Absolutely, that makes sense. Because if we don't recognize we have a need, then it's very unlikely we're going to buy something. It's the result of an imbalance between our actual state, where we find ourselves at this moment, and where we desire to be. How many of y'all are juniors? How many of y'all are seniors? How many of y'all are thinking about at some point you're probably going to get a job? How many of you have your job lined up after you graduate? For instance, let's use this one. Right now, you're a student. And absolutely, you can be employed, you can be trying to increase your education, get a promotion, absolutely. Just bear with me. We're a student right now, yeah? At some point, you want to be employed. We're talking career here, right? Post-bachelor's, the reason you came to school and endured all of this is to get to that good job, better job, life-supporting job, whatever it might be. What's in between these 2 boxes? Space. It's far from here, obviously. It's a gap. Right? It's the difference between where you are and where you want to be. Make sense? It's an imbalance between your actual current state and your desired future state. That's hopefully probably a very personal idea for you. That's need recognition. You have obviously figured out, we could take student off of this block and put unemployed. We could take that off and put poor. Whatever has found you to your, or whatever describes your current state most appropriately, there's a reason that you're here. There's a reason you're going through this. There's a reason you hadn't dropped my course yet. I hope you don't. Because you're trying to get to the desired state. You've realized that something is an imbalance between your actual current state and your desired future state. And you are doing something with your life in a very good and positive way to close the gap. That's a need recognition that you understood that caused you to enroll in this university. That's consumer decision making. You've recognized the need and you're pursuing the purchase of your degree. We can make it a little less heavy and say, my pen ran out of ink, I need a working pen. I have realized there's a need between where I actually am and where I would like to be. That's the imbalance. We've recognized the need. Part of marketing can be helping consumers realize they have a need. Helping them realize that wherever they currently are, their actual state could be better. There could be something missing. There's a gap between where they are and where they could be, should be. You deserve better. Maybe. How many of y'all drove here today? Obviously it worked out okay. You got here, yeah? What happens if you go out after this class, God forbid, and there's a flat tire? Do you know that right now? We could have a need in our lives we don't actually realize yet. That's a good example. It's a very thought-provoking example, but we have all sorts of psychological, more subtle ideas. If you don't know that you need a tire right now, you don't know to be spending your time shopping for a new tire. Otherwise, I doubt a lot of you are just spending your weekends like browsing gatewaytires.com, just like, woo, this is exciting. You don't have a reason to go shopping. You don't have a reason to go after the subject until you have some need that you have realized. That's how we sometimes with marketing, I'm going to put an ad out for tire specials before you realize you need it as a consumer. So that when you do find that flat tire, one of the things you're going to think of is, I just saw a commercial that they're having a President's Day sale on tires at, where was that? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention because I didn't have that need, so I didn't care. Fast forwarded to it, I scrolled past that banner, whatever it might be. Part of marketing is helping consumers realize that we as a company, we're here, our products are available, we're waiting on you as soon as you realize you need us. Hopefully you remember who we are when you need us. What's a stimulus? You take this back to psychology class, you take this back to biology class.
Something that causes a reaction.
Something that causes a reaction. I don't need this for the projector anymore, but if I come around and I poke you in the ribs, what are you going to do? Sue. Well, I'm not going to, obviously. But you might go, ah! Like Pillsbury Doughboy on me. Why? Because we're responding to a stimulus. We're reacting to something changing in our, in that case, bubble. Yeah, my bubbles. Can we do that with marketing? Absolutely. We're trying to create reactions with our consumers. Any unit of input affecting one or more of the five senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. That's what we build off most of how we live. It's responding to stimulus. Ooh, it's cold outside. I need a jacket. It's raining. I need an umbrella. Ooh, that chicken smells good. I'm hungry. I hear an explosion. I'm going to go this way. Whatever it is, we're responding to stimuli in our environment. We of course use that for marketing. Start here. How many of y'all have been to a fair before? State fair, county fair, amusement park even. Think about that. Let's see. Obviously, they're not using any kind of handheld stabilizer for those smartphones. Does that video stimulate you? Does it affect any of your senses?
Yeah.
Yes or no? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Which one?
Sight.
Sight. We saw things. They were shaky. They were spinning. They were colorful. There was lights. Hearing. There's bells. There's carnies. There's music. In video, for the most part, that's about all we can do. But can your mind, your memories, can it fill in anything else?
Smell.
What'd you smell?
Like food.
Okay. Corn dogs. Vomit. If you eat the funnel cake before you go on the wrong ride. Happen. What else?
You could taste the
I
food.
can taste the food. Right? Ooh, makes me hungry. Why are we talking about this? It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's lunchtime. Why are you making me think of carnival food? How about touch? You rode any of those rides?
Gross, sticky breathing.
Those might be sticky. Ew, why is this wet? The tilt-a-whirl does this, and then I go over here, and I can feel that in my stomach. I can remember it, especially if you didn't like it. Stimulus that make us unhappy are sometimes easier to remember. Smell is one of the most powerful stimuli. It can bring back memories from a long ago buried place that we don't even remember. The perfume, oh, that's what my granny wore. I don't know what it's called. That was granny the wore that. Funnel cake. Ooh. Or video. Because our minds are very complex, psychological stuff. That if I can stimulate some of your senses, your brain has the ability to fill in some of the rest of it, especially if you have experience, if you have memories in it. There's been some crazy little experiments, but we have not yet harnessed the power of smell-o-vision. For the most part, we're watching commercials. We got sight, we got sound. That's really about it. In a print ad, a magazine, I could add texture. Could be printed with something. I can absolutely add smell. You cue a little thing back and go, yes, I like that cologne. One of my favorite pages of that magazine. But we can't add motion. Don't have Harry Potter pictures quite yet. But if I can stimulate your senses, I can help you experience, I can help you understand what my product might be like when you do buy it, use it, experience it.
The chill of peppermint. The rich dark chocolate. York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
They're absolutely attempting to make you feel how you are going to experience that product. I've never eaten candy and been that excited. But I get this one.
I've never eaten one before.
Aha! Did that make you want to eat one?
Mm-mm.
It's chocolate and peppermint. It's not that revolutionary, but it's interesting. stimulus. Helping you maybe realize a need. You know what? Until he started showing me and talking about food, I didn't realize I was hungry. My actual state was not hungry. Now it's desire to be not hungry in the future. It's an imbalance. Our present state that is affected by stimuli, both internally, the stuff we're thinking, the stuff we're feeling, the stuff we're remembering, and externally, like marketing, convincing you to pay attention to our world. We help consumers recognize an imbalance between this, ethically, morally, legally recognizing it. Be a great idea from my tire place if I just walk by and start sloshing your tires while you're in class. And leave a flyer on the windshield. Seems like a good way to draw up business. Not recommended. But can an insurance company scare you with their advertising? You could die! Guess what? We have a policy for that, so your family won't be left behind penniless and have to live in a box. Call me today! It's a little extreme, but that's absolutely how we sometimes sell life insurance. We're trying to make you understand that your present state is don't have life insurance. So your future state might be your loved ones suffering because of you. Fine. Take my monies. All insurance is in case stuff happens. If it never happens, the insurance company wins. That's what they prefer. Life insurance doesn't really play out that way. Car insurance, you never have an accident. All you did was pay a company for you not to ever have an accident. They'd love that. Actual state, present state, future state, desired state. There's an imbalance. There's a gap between it. That's when consumers realize they need to find a way to close the gap. Search for information to help them. We start internally usually. You found the flat tire after class, you're going to start thinking, where do I get a tire fixed? Walmart. Hey, that'd be good. Oh, you might first start with, do I know how to change a tire? Do I have a spare tire? That's a good question. If not, can a tow truck fit in here with our odd parking spaces? Sometimes it gets interesting. We're going to recall information about brands, companies, experiences, past times we've used this product before. Every day when you're hungry, you're going to probably start internally with going, what do I want to eat? I don't think you go out doing a whole lot of research too often. You go on vacation though, you don't know where to eat, you've never been there, so you don't know what's good or not. Maybe you do more searching, comparing, shopping. After we may have exhausted our internal store of information, we start looking external, seeking out information outside of our own known world. And that can be marketing control, not marketing control. What do you think we mean by that? What can marketing control? What can the business side of things? What can they control about what you know? Good. What else? Can they control anything about what you know, about what you find?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like on the internet, bigger companies can pay to have their stuff show up first.
Sponsored advertising. If I Google something, where could it take me?
Anywhere.
Be careful. Might take me to their website. Might be the point of searching if you want to go to websites. One of those websites might be the companies that they put up, that they control what's written on, that they control the information that's there. Absolutely. What did I just show you from York Peppermint Patties?
A commercial.
A commercial. Who do you think came up with it?
Your peppermint patties.
They at least signed off on it, right? Maybe an advertisement company, a video production company, I don't know, a job you could get with a marketing degree. May have helped them come up with the idea, film the actual thing, put the editing together, put the copy of the wording together. York had to sign off on it. York had to pay for it. York was in control of it, and whoever York's parent company is, I'm not sure at all. Well, what doesn't marketing control then? As a company, what can I not be in charge of?
How I spend my money.
What?
How I spend, or who I spend my money with.
Yeah. Because the whole point is I'm trying to influence you, right? I can't literally make you buy my stuff, right? Unless I'm the government. They kind of can.
Spoken word. Like if you've heard from somebody, oh well, that tire place is gonna rip you off. My tires were out really fast.
Word
You're
of
probably
mouth marketing.
not gonna go there.
Word of mouth is one of the most powerful things. One of the things we're going to pay the most attention to. If we trust the source. And all this kind of goes back to, do we trust the source? Do you trust what's in your own head?
Yeah.
Most days. Maybe. You trust what mama told you about something. You trust what daddy told you about something. You have a friend that's always buying new tech stuff, so you're going to trust them to tell you about the new smartwatch. Maybe. How many of y'all have like a younger sibling that's like, I don't know, 12, 15, something like that? Are you going to trust them to tell you what about tires? Why not? Because that'd be silly most of the time. Marketing control stuff coming from the business, we're going to think has a certain maybe authority behind it. Who's going to know better than them? Perhaps. But we also have to remember they've got an agenda. They are trying to sell us things. So maybe they don't always tell us the whole story. Maybe what they use to compare themselves to a competitor is not always perfectly in line. As consumers, we don't fully trust advertisements. They're a great source of starting, of getting information, of learning about a new brand, but we're not always going to take just their word for it. We're going to want somebody else to help us substantiate those claims, perhaps. How about this? Marketing controlled or not marketing controlled?
Sponge. How's everything look?
Looks good. It's real good.
What's his BP?
120/80.
Okay, folks. Close it up.
You're not Dr. Stewart.
No. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Marketing control or not marketing control?
Marketing control.
Commercial. Absolutely. Do we have a Holiday Inn Express in Kansas?
No.
I live here. Why would I buy a hotel here? Or what have you? No. So it's a terrible example, right? But they have plenty of commercials. There's a Holiday Inn Express in Starkville. That's the closest one. TripAdvisor. If you're going on a road trip, to Starkville, here's an option. It says there's only 13 hotels in Starkville. This is number 8. Has 4 dots. Usually we call them stars. TripAdvisor chooses dots. Okay. Free Wi-Fi. Cool. Free parking. Marketing control or not? Why?
Because that site is a marketing tool.
True. What's TripAdvisor trying to sell me?
Room. For different rooms at the best. We'll give you cheaper prices.
They're trying to be a search tool. Come to me as a company and help me find you the right place. Is Holiday Inn Express paying them? And them a commission, a cut. But so is Hilton and DoubleTree and Marriott. So it's not that TripAdvisor has any loyalty per se to this hotel, right? TripAdvisor might come in and have expert reviews. They have somebody on staff that might go and stay at the place, and they'll tell you what we think of it. The pictures of the room could come from Holiday Inn. They could be the ones that come on here and say, this is our place, here's our stuff, information about it. But what about this thing? When I see 91 reviews from our TripAdvisor community, are those marketing control? They shouldn't be. I could, if I worked for you, I could come and give you a review. It's called a shill. That goes back to that morally and ethically correct side of things. But who is doing this, in theory? Who should be doing this? Consumers. Other people like me that have experienced this product before me. 4 stars or dots overall. 39 people said it's excellent, 25 very good, 10 average, 8 poor, and 8 people said it's terrible. I got 39 people said it's excellent, but 8 people said it's terrible. Which ones do I believe?
Yeah, 8 terrible.
Good hotel, 3 stars. Disappointed, 1 star. Awesome customer service with great attitude, 5 stars. Business stay, 5 stars. Very comfortable, 4 stars. Best hotel in Stockwell, 5 stars. Great hotel, 5 stars. Clean and convenient, 5 stars. Very nice hotel and great location, 5 stars. Do you look at reviews? Amazon has reviews. TripAdvisor has reviews. Walmart has reviews. Do we pay attention to them?
Sometimes.
As a consumer, as an aggregate, we do. We've given up a little bit of our willingness to make decisions for ourselves in exchange for attempting to lower our risk level. Especially when it comes to time. I can't get that back as easily. I buy a product at Walmart, it doesn't work, I take it back tomorrow, I get my money back. A little bit of hassle, a little bit of effort, but big picture, very little issue, very little risk. If I stay at this hotel tonight and I don't like it, I can't get my night back. Does that make sense? I can get my money back maybe, depending on the guarantee of the hotel. But I can't get my time back. What if it's a wedding night? That's a big amount of pressure on what choice we might make. So I might rely on 91 other people and have to expect there's some people that are lazy that aren't going to review it, because I'm pretty sure since that hotel's been built, more than 91 people have stayed there. But I have to assume there are some people that have a grudge. There might be some people that work with a competitor and come in and put 1 star. There might be some people that work there, they come in and put 5 stars. But if I take some of those outliers, I have to go with, there's got to be a core of real humans, and do I trust them? At 91 people, that feels like a pretty good sample. Overall, they give me 4 stars. I might be willing to say that. How about this one? Marketing controlled or not?
Yeah.
Marketing true.
So it's another commercial. Is there a difference between that Holiday Inn Express commercial and this one?
One is more attractive than the other one.
You really like doctors?
No.
You mean this one? Okay. Holiday Inn Express is meant on comedy. We're trying to get your attention to make you funny. Hey, I like you better because you make me laugh. This one's trying to show like, hey, we're great. Come see us.
They're going to stimulate your mind.
Huh?
They try to stimulate you.
Ah, make you feel something in your senses. Ooh, I can imagine that warm sun, that sea breeze. They also are on TripAdvisor. They have 15,444 reviews. They got 4.5 stars. It still claims it's the number 90 hotel in Dubai.
That's because it's Dubai.
What do you think is more impressive? Number 8 out of 13 in Startworld and number 90 out of 544 in Dubai.
90 out of 544 Dubai.
This one has 4.5 stars, which means 89 other hotels have to have at least better than that. What's going to be my better value? What's going to be cheaper?
Starfield.
Does price equal value?
Not necessarily.
Does it affect? Is it part of the decision?
Yes.
Yes. Remember, Holiday Inn Express Startworld, free parking.
But you have a
Pool.
You have a better night there.
You mean in this man-made global monstrosity of interestingness in the ocean with the big fancy catwalk and
Yeah, but they got
underwater aquarium
they
suites.
got a waterfall there that lights them in color.
Then they got the biggest mall. The mall.
It's like one in a lifetime right there.
Right.
7,832 people call it excellent. Only 401 say it was terrible. Let me guess. Those people really couldn't afford it. And they made the mistake of coming and realized, this is a terrible idea. I'm going to have to get another mortgage.
I probably would look at their reviews and see what not to do.
It's probably from Iraq.
Right.
Best holiday resort, very beautiful hotel, great hotel traveling with kids, blown away by the grandeur of the Atlantis of the Palm. Family summer break in Atlantis. Amazing hotel. Hotel has good and so good features. They still only give it 4 stars. Family holiday, 3 stars. Aww. Do we put different weights depending on the products that we're buying? Do we think about this one's going to be cheaper, but I'm going to pay a lot more, but I'm going to get more out of it for something else? Yes. Am I going to be willing to pay, I don't know, $1,000 a night to stay at the Holiday Inn Express? No. I think that would be extravagant.
Terrible idea.
The value proposition is not going to be there. Could I do that at Atlantis? Yeah, I can. Easily. Plus, I got to get there.
Depending on how early you order your tickets, you get them cheaper.
There's certain windows.
You get back in the country.
I'm going to an extent, trust what other people have said. 90 people? Okay. I think I got a good cross-section of people, I think, maybe. Help me make a decision. 7 people have reviewed this product. I'm like, I don't know. What if these are 7 lunatics? What if these are 7 just idiots? Can I really trust what they say?
7 workers.
7 competitors. 15,000. At that point, I gotta suspend disbelief and go with, I'm gonna guess that a lot of these people are real. And in aggregate, I'm gonna let them help me make a decision. How I feel as a consumer. When I'm searching for information, maybe you have a memory-based thing. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express somewhere else, and you go, it's not bad. I'll stay at that one again, wherever my new vacation takes me, business trip takes me, whatever it might be. I've stayed at the Atlantis in the Bahamas, and that one looks a lot like it. So next time I go to Dubai, I'll probably stay there. Maybe you can have internal experiences with the product or the product category. I've eaten food before. I think I can make an okay decision about lunch. We can absolutely start internally. But a lot of times, especially for bigger decisions, decisions we don't have a lot of experience in, decisions that are risky, decisions that cost more, decisions that there's a lot of options about, we are probably often going to search outside. I'm going to need less information when there's less risk. New pen. Ooh, if that goes wrong, my life is ruined. Not so much. Need to buy a new jet. Maybe more risk involved. Cost involved. That's a financial risk. Safety risk. Do I want to install new brakes myself? I could save a few dollars. Risk involved. If I'm more knowledgeable, if I'm more experienced about the subject, I've bought this before, I've used this before, I'm good with this, I don't need no stinking manual, let me play with it. I'm going to do less information searching. I already know stuff, I'm just going to go back to my memory more. But if I don't know anything about it, I haven't used it before, I'm a first-time home buyer, I'm going to need help, I'm going to do research, I'm going to watch a lot of HGTV, perhaps. If I'm not interested in the subject, then I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to search less. I'm going to find the first one and go, that sounds about right. I can afford that. Do it. Let's be done with it. Not now, obviously. You're all adults. But did your mom ever drag you along shopping? And you found a bench, and if you couldn't find a bench, you found the corner, and you just sat there and like, just let it be done. I don't care what socks. Sure, those shoes look great. Come on. If we're not interested in the subject, we're not going to want to put forth the effort. But if we are interested, it's something we care about, it's something of great importance to us, we're going to put more time and effort and expense into picking out the right one. Finding just what I want, what I need, what I find the value in. If I'm confident, I've really thought about this, and this is what I'm going to do with my life, that's great. If I'm not, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I got to choose something, I'm out of time. I've got to submit, I've got to hit buy, I've got to get this in, or I'm not going to get it in time for the whatever event in my life. Lack of confidence in my decision is going to be harder to make the decision. Internal, external, especially. Just cause. How many of y'all like fish? What? Why are we going to fish? How many of y'all eat fish besides catfish? How many of you know how to buy fish? You might go to an external search and go to an expert. Like this angry man.
Fish.
Gordon Ramsay.
Whenever I buy fish, I only want the freshest and the best. And if anyone knows how to get the best, it's Roger Kent Barn. He's been buying and selling fish at the world-famous Billingsgate Market in London for over 50 years.
I love it. I think it's the greatest food of all time. I sell literally every variety there is. I could feed you a different fish 365 days a year.
This guy really knows how to sniff out the good from the bad.
All fish smell different. The longer it's around, the more fishy it will smell. When it's lovely and fresh, it doesn't smell. Whenever you're going to buy fish, don't be frightened. Get your nose right into it. Don't go like that. Get it into it. Smell it. It smells delightful. It smells what I call salmon, and it's lovely. Barramundi, it's a lovely fish. The way to tell good fish is, look at it closely. It's shiny. It's still got the bloom on it. His eyes are as bright as yours. Look in the gill, lovely and red. Put it in a bag for the gentleman, please.
I'm going to watch 3 minutes of that. If you really care, go watch your own fish shopping expertise videos. If you're not a chef, if you're not hosting a lot of parties, if you don't have a lot of interest in the subject, then you're going to buy whatever Kroger's got sitting there. Perhaps. When we're dealing with food, there's a certain element of risk. If it smells too heavily, that might mean it's older. That might mean it has a higher potential to make you sick. Anything goes bad eventually. Even Twinkies. It takes a long time. It happens. If I'm not knowledgeable on the subject, I might seek out expert advice. Help me buy a house. Help me pick out a car. Help me pick out fish. I'm cooking for the first time from my lovely significant other. I want this to go right. It could be very important. there's risk. It's like, what if I buy the wrong fish? What if it isn't the right fish? For whatever reason. Information searching, we're going to seek out more when it's riskier, when it's more expensive, when we have less knowledge, less experience, when we're more interested in the subject. Sometimes we just shop. We just want to learn things, experience things because we enjoy it. So we've realized we had a need, that act thing. We've sought out information in our own heads, outside of our own heads, experts, review sites, whatever it might be. We finally made it to the point where the business actually really, really loves us. We're buying something. Maybe. Because we could realize we have a need. We could go out searching for options, learning about the subject, and we could still decide not to buy it. Why not? Maybe we decide after all that we don't need it. Maybe you realize the need, but you then later realize, you know what, I've been living without it already. I can keep doing it. You know what? Why am I going to the fishmonger? I know where a pond is. I could do it myself. That's one of the things, especially in the Great Recession that we've gone through, is people are really ramped up their DIY skills. My ability to recycle, upcycle, reuse. My ability to make stuff myself good enough. My ability to start cooking at home rather than paying a restaurant so often. All of those are ways that consumers may choose not to actually buy the product at all. I can do without, I can do it myself, I can find a substitute. You know what, I can't afford beef, I'm not having a burger tonight, but I can afford a hot dog. Substitute products sometimes take the need and get it close enough. Maybe the gap isn't exactly closed, but it's a lot smaller. It's good enough. Ultimately, the consumer has to decide whether or not to buy. That's kind of the first bigger question. Am I going to buy this or not? Am I pulling the trigger on it or not? And if I decide to buy, well then I still have to decide, what am I buying? Who am I buying it from? What are my options? How am I paying for it? There's still more decisions, but if I don't decide to make that choice first, the rest of them don't really matter. Cognitive dissonance. What do you think that is? What does cognitive mean? Thinking. Head stuff. Heart stuff? Not as much. Cognitive, we're thinking about stuff. Let's go back to some weird English classes. What does the prefix dis usually mean? No. Negative. Opposite of. So then, what does sonance mean? Oh. Well, it's obviously thinking about not good sonance. So when we make a decision that maybe we are not confident in, back to that external search idea. Inner tension that a consumer experiences after recognizing an inconsistency between the behavior, probably their behavior, and the values or opinions that matter to them, their own or others. After I've bought the new thing I bought, do I decide if that was a good thing or not? After I book my trip to Dubai, do I decide if I can pay for that or not? When I tell my parents I'm going to Dubai for spring break, they ask, are you going to join the Taliban or something? It's the things of this nature that we might have between what we behave and what others or ourselves think about. And the behaviors and the values, the opinions. We can have tension, we can have lack of confidence in our decision, especially if we were not knowledgeable about the subject. If it was really expensive, if there's a lot of risk involved, even after we've made the decision, bought the thing, we still might be questioning, was that the best choice? Did I need to spend that money? Did I make the right decision? It'd be very hard. And consumers, people that have their own less self-confidence, lower self-esteem. They're going to experience more dissonance of, did I make a good choice or not? Is this going to be a good thing long term? Can I afford this? Are people going to think about the stuff we buy in private to use? I don't really care about branding. The stuff I buy in public to use might be more important. If you're hosting a party, are you going to buy the actual Doritos? But if you're eating at home, are you going to buy the Great Value brand? Could be. The car brand I buy, the color, the options. What are people going to think? If people love to ride with me because of mooches, are they going to be happy? Are they going to rag me because I couldn't afford a better car? Are they going to need to search longer to find a better deal on something nicer? Consumers sometimes have no dissonance. I bought a new pen. It doesn't write well. Oh well, throw it away. I'm not going to think too long about it. Bought life insurance. Did I buy enough? That might be an issue. Who do I have to tell that I have life insurance? Will they figure it out? Maybe y'all might watch The Big Bang Theory. If you're not familiar with it, it's not this guy. That's the fish guy. There's a character on The Big Bang Theory named Sheldon, played by Jim Parsons. He wins lots of Emmys for his character. Sheldon is an odd scientist. He doesn't have very good social skills. He's a very flawed character, which a lot of times in literature, in movies, and TV, we love flawed characters because they make us feel better about ourselves. It's very interesting psychologically. From a marketing perspective, if I can make it look like any idiot can use my product, of course you can, right? Because you're not an idiot in whatever topic it is. It's a way to play on our psychological faults and behaviors. Sheldon does not like gift giving, is the premise behind this. He thinks gift giving is an odd social custom, so he has determined a way to foolproof it. Because he doesn't know, if I give you a $10 gift, but you give me a $20 gift, do I then owe you $10 more in gift? Or vice versa. So he's determined for Christmas he has a foolproof scheme to solve his dilemma. He has bought a variety of gift baskets, ranging in price from very cheap to very expensive, and no matter what gift he is given, he can then go retrieve the appropriate value gift. It's odd, but it's kind of sounds like Zappos, actually. Zappos says, buy as many pairs of shoes or whatever as you like. Find the one that fits the best and send us the rest back. Reducing risk, reducing cognitive dissonance. A little long. That's Leonard. That's Penny.
Very good, thanks for asking. Come on in.
Oh, good.
That's Sheldon.
Penny, you're here to exchange gifts. You'll be pleased to know I'm prepared for whatever you have to offer.
Okay, here.
He's a Star
I should
Trek
know.
fan. That's why.
I'm having some digestive distress. So if I excuse myself abruptly, don't be alarmed. Oh, the napkin.
Turn it over.
To Sheldon, live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy.
Played Spock in the original Star Trek.
He came into the restaurant. Sorry, the napkin's dirty. He wiped his mouth with it.
I possess the DNA of Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, I guess, but look, he signed it.
Did you realize what this means? All I need is a healthy ovum and I can grow my own Leonard Nimoy.
Okay, all I'm giving you is Here, open it.
Oh, a gift certificate for motorcycle lessons. Very thoughtful.
Yeah, and I checked. Not letting the bike fall on you while standing still is lesson 1.
Well, then I think you'll appreciate what I got you.
Okay. 101 totally cool science experiments for kids.
You know, because you're so into science. I know. It's not enough, is it? Here.
There's a problem with physical touch.
Sheldon's hugging me.
It's a Saturnalia miracle.
Long drawn out idea of how do we reduce cognitive dissonance. Return policies, money back guarantees, customer service. If you have an issue installing your new printer, call us, we'll help you. Go to our YouTube channel, we give you step-by-step instructions you can follow. Some people like to read instruction manuals, most people do not. But just including that. Last time you bought a smartphone, I'm guessing most of you have, did it come with an instruction manual printed in the box with it?
Okay, with some piece of paper that I didn't read.
Sometimes it comes with a piece of paper about that big. But in order to understand how to use it, it ought to take a piece of paper was about that big. Thick booklets. But we've gotten to the point that, as a society, for the most part, we get the idea. We punch for the most part, not even buttons anymore. We touch the touch screen and can figure out a lot of it. If we have experience with the product, if we had an iPhone before and we bought a new iPhone, the situation has not drastically changed. New features, new screen resolution, different size maybe, but a lot of the usability is very easily transferred over. So a lot of our internal search can give us what we need. That doesn't mean that there's not some tension trying to understand something, trying to transfer our contacts or our photos or our account numbers or passwords. Training on how to use new features. If you ever go to the Apple store, like in Ridgeland or to Birmingham, next closest one, you can go to the Genius Bar. I think that's a little pretentious, but okay. They'll teach you how to use your stuff. They'll help you understand all the features, how to use it, how to transfer things. What happens if you break it? How do you maybe fix it at home instead of having to come back to them? All that is ways of helping reduce the risk, the worry, the potential for dissonance, especially post-purchase. How do I make it okay? How do I make it happy? How do I make you as a consumer feel like this is all right, you can do it, don't worry about it? How involved we are with the purchase, how involved we are with the subject matter particularly, helps us understand how much effort we're going to put into it. The amount of time and effort a buyer invests in the search, the evaluation, different alternatives, the actual decision processes around that consumption behavior. If I like the topic, I'm more likely going to look into it. I'm going to enjoy reading it. I'm going to have a magazine about the hobbies I enjoy, whatever it might be. If you just really enjoy clothing or shoes, you might just go spend time walking through a store for fun. Might be to torture yourself just a little bit because I can't afford this, but look how good it is. How pretty I am. Maybe if you enjoy the topic, you'll spend more time and effort on it. Stuff we're more involved in, the better decision making we make.